a shortened version because we have a lot of stuff to cover, and I didn't hit the record button. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. I was so busy snapping photos of our player Steiner, Chris, who is really taken to trying to make me laugh during those musical interludes. So yeah, we have paper cups over his eyes, and he's doing this really bizarre.
That's awesome.
That was awesome. So I never hit, and then all of a sudden I'm like, "Hey, keeper, the record button." Oh, God.
Oh yeah.
So we got that at the very last second. But welcome back to possibly the conclusion tonight. We're going to find out of Kleiner's Kravenarium Chapter 2, A Box Full of Dreams. So welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm good.
Swimming.
I'm scared. As usual.
Awesome.
Scared?
Spicy.
Let's
Spicy.
go.
Yeah. We will pick it up where we left off. So you are basically standing across the street, as we last remember, from Millicent Shaw's house. And Millicent Shaw was an artist that Adelaide had commissioned to do a poster for her for the Kleiner's Kravenarium as one of the newer acts. But according to this man, according to Anston Tweeds, which his nickname is Tweeds, he claims that this is the where he's able to leave messages for what he refers to as just like you did, right? The brewmaster, this woman who is able to use these mushrooms in a way that has been causing people to kill themselves in very weird and bizarre ways around Edinburgh for the last several weeks. So we're here. So cast team, what do you want to do? Are we just going to bust the door in, knock on it? What do you want to do?
I am kind of a, shoot first, ask questions later sort of guy. So if you want to bust the door in, let's do it.
Wow.
Busty.
Yeah, Adelaide will follow whatever he does. She's not.
I mean, knocking works, but if you want to
Could
try
knock,
that.
We could just say, we're here to check on the poster.
It's 20 after 9. I mean, maybe. People did keep
Maybe.
later hours, sure.
But, if we
We're
want
just in the
to...
neighborhood, thought we'd stop in.
Yeah. If Steiner, is your plan to be like at the head of the line?
Yeah, I
All
believe.
right, then I'll bring up the back of the line so that
All
the girls are protected between us.
All right.
All right, so you don't knock, do you try opening it first?
Sure, why not?
Okay. It is open.
Oh,
So, I mean, artist. Probably not locking it right away. Yeah, so the door's open and it's lit and you hello? And sure enough, the young gentleman that she had with her last time comes up and says, "Oh, I'm sorry. We expecting in a studio, just around here. You can follow me, of course. Please come in. Oh, all of it." And he sees Tweed.
Yeah.
And he kind of just goes bleach white and starts backing up.
Where is she?
She's in the studio, so you just walk in and you go down the very narrow hallway.
He's taking us.
Oh, well, he's backing up towards it anyway.
Oh,
but yes,
Right.
he kind of
Just making sure he's not going anywhere.
He goes into the living room, backing in, and there's Millicent is painting, and she's got this pot next to her, and kind of smells similar.
What's she painting?
Oh, terrible, terrifying things now. All kinds of. Yeah. Do you really look at it? I mean, there's a lot of weird, odd color. Okay. It's a puppet being sawed in half.
Great.
So I look at Tweed
Great.
and say, "Is this the brewmaster?"
Oh, she just works with her, paints things, talks to her. I don't know. They communicate somehow. I just leave the messages here, and she shows up a few hours later. Millicent does not seem cognizant that you're in the room.
Does she have a teacup sitting around?
Oh yeah, a pot of tea and a teacup right next to her.
So she's under the influence herself.
Well, I'm actually going to go over and smell it. Does it smell like ours?
It not as strong.
so it's got the lilies in it?
You don't know that
Mm.
because it's in the cup itself. Like you smelling it right now, you're smelling is the tea. If you dump it and smell the cup, you may get that citrusy floral scent. But right now, all you're smelling is the brew. But remember, they said we made yours very strong. She said that.
Yeah.
She did.
Pruny didn't mention that, how strong it was. And this time it's not. It's you can tell it's much weaker. But whatever she's using it to get these dreamscapes in her head.
noticing that that Millicent is obviously sort of stoned.
What's that?
I start walking towards the blanched white man. Back away.
Okay. Yep.
We
All
need
right.
to bring that.
Should we give her some of the cup that we brought from Ginny's cup? That's supposed to wake him up.
Well, it kept Ginny's dreams from being
Horrible,
like,
yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
You're not
okay.
sure it's going to bring them out.
Yeah.
He just so Cyrus, he's just backing away. Were you going to engage him or say something to him? He's scared. Obviously, he's just like,
No, I walk up to him and I say, "We need you to bring us to the brewmaster."
I that's not how this. I don't even. That's not how it works.
Then tell me how it works.
He walks over towards, like, kind of keeps his distance. I mean, he knows that you're very upset. He could tell by all your demeanors. And he walks over and he's like, Millie. And she turns to his voice, but her eyes are rolled up into her head. Like it's just whites.
Yeah.
And he's like, Millie, you need to reach out to Aoife. You need to say to Aoife that she needs, there's people here to see her. Mr. Tweeds is here. Do you understand? Do you understand me? And she throws the canvas off, and it just tumbles. And he walks over and he grabs a small one and he places it in front of her. And she dips the paint in the brush that's already got some pigment in it, a red, a yellow color. But she kind of just brushes it on her clothes and dips it in the black paint. He's holding it. She dips it in, and she just starts scrawling words. And it says the Irish spelling of Aoife, right? Aoife, right?
Yes.
Aoife or Aoife. She writes that and then writes, "They're here." Now, does that mean Tweeds? Does it mean you? But that's what she writes onto this canvas. And then he takes it and he just kind of makes sure it's dry. And he puts it up on the mantelpiece for a moment. And he's like, she'll come. Every time she's done this, she shows up within about an hour.
How do we get her to stop being like that? Is it a time thing?
He takes the other canvas that she was working on and puts it back in front of her. He says she comes out when she's done painting. This is what happens. She gets into these states. She starts sketching with a palette knife. Like she's kind of scratching into the paint. And within, as you're talking and kind of understanding that, this thing is going to show up. It seems like she's carving in a hand, reaching toward the puppet, but in time it starts to take the shape of like Yesenia's hand. Like it starts to have that shape to it. Her fingers, the nail beds. She's starting to but Yesenia can't reach it. It's like she's trying to reach for the puppet, but there's a saw sawing it in half.
Can Mercy see the paintings?
Oh, all over. Yeah, they're everywhere.
No.
Oh, you mean
can I
she
see
see
the
them?
images?
Oh, you know what? Probably. Yeah, probably.
Okay. I grab Adelaide's sleeve and I'm like, do you see anything that looks like what you saw when you drank the tea? Look around the room. There's dozens of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adelaide looks around for a tunnel.
Steiner, Cyrus, you too.
All right.
Yeah, there's a series of 3 paintings that have been recently done that are leaning along, underneath the window, where the window is open and it kind of helps air dry the oils. And it's of the clowns. It's of the pictures that were posted. It's Ditch Boy, it's Simeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can she see what other people are experiencing, or is she some sort of creator? Puppet master? Is she painting what you're experiencing? Is somehow this is connected?
How interesting that you say that.
Mercy throws something at the white-haired guy. Like she just picks up like a paintbrush or like a little tchotchke, throws it at him. What happens if we stop her?
No.
Give me that.
No. Don't stop her. Why would you stop her?
I want to see what happens.
No. Nothing happens. She'll just stay in that state for a while. It's very disruptive to her the process. Leave her be. She's not doing you any harm. We've done what she asked.
Cyrus, like, back me up here, like big beefy
Cyrus
man.
is muted. You're muted.
It's interesting. What do you command of me, oh small and intelligent one?
If this man prevents me from grabbing that painting away from this devil woman, I want you to hit him.
I can do that.
All right. So you take the painting away. She kind of tries to follow it. You know, she's got the brush in front of her. She's trying to finish the image of what's in her head. So zombie-like, she walks towards you as you're holding the canvas.
Adelaide will go over to her and try to gently hold her back.
Okay.
I'm more interested in what happens if we destroy one of the paintings.
I say we go for it.
I wonder if she's actually drawing the nightmares as they happen.
I think she is. And looking at the painting that she's doing, we know that Yesenia is still under the spell. So we see a puppet. So
Right. So you say that out loud, the spell, right?
Yeah.
And
I say that out loud.
Tweed goes, you should see what's upstairs.
What's upstairs?
Oh, feckin' nightmare show.
Lead the way.
Yes. Mercy has the painting.
He starts walking up the stairs. She goes, wait. As you get to the top of the stairs and you hang the turn, the master bedroom of what normally would be the master bedroom is just covered. The walls are covered in canvases. And sure enough, there's one of someone inside of a cloud, and they're melting.
Enid.
You see all of the victims. They're different canvases. And it's graphically realistic looking.
What do you want to try, Cyrus?
Well, I think for starters, we need to put the fire out and stop that boil that's happening in the room. It's time that the brew went away. But I think we should try destroying one of the paintings.
Which one?
I think for safety's sake, maybe we destroy one of the paintings from someone who has already perished.
I agree. I'm going to take my saber out, and I'm going to rip in half the one that just, slice at it. The one for
Enid.
Enid, thank you.
Enid Coulter.
Yeah.
You immediately get the smell. The smell of it smells wet and damp and smoky and steamy, and you also smell something cooking. Only lasts for a brief second, but then it's gone. The painting is destroyed, and Nigel's like, "Oh, the hell was that?" And everybody picks up on it, especially Mercy. Mercy, you're like, it's actually almost makes you want to retch.
Mm-hmm.
But the pictures do contain some essence of this terrible event that took place. Either she's capturing it, she's somehow mystically present. You're not sure, but all these things they're painted into the canvas. That moment in time has been captured.
Where is the one that has Ditch Boy?
Downstairs.
I'm tearing that one up next.
So Steiner goes running down the stairs. Steiner grabs this painting and just starts hacking into it. Yeah, your sword comes away, and on the very thin edge of it, you've seen this many times in your life. There is human blood on the edge of the sword.
How do I feel?
Better.
Good.
Probably a little bit. You probably feel like, more complete. Like not so. Yeah, you feel a little revitalized.
I'm yelling up the stairs. Mercy, tear it up.
All right.
So you guys just destroy the house and the painting.
What?
Yep, shred it.
Right.
You just start shredding. I'll go downstairs and
you're doing Yesenia's?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't say do Yesenia's because she's in
late.
it.
She's still in it.
I mean, can we alter the painting?
You can always paint over something, sure.
Oh.
I mean, you can take paint to a painting.
Oh,
Yeah.
could we take her hand and paint nice things?
Well,
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah,
under.
the
So
blind girl do
you
it?
don't. You don't have.
I don't know.
You're whatever paints have been mixed. However, this is happening. You could put like a smiley face, and that doesn't mean Yesenia feels that. I'm just saying, if you
No.
want to like douse the canvas in different colors and shit, I don't know. You don't know how that's going to react. I mean, you can,
Right.
but
I
Get
don't
rid
know.
of
Point
the
is
saw
that
kind of thing. Paint over the
she's
saw.
not done with Yesenia's yet. She's still because Yesenia's still in it. There's still moments happening in front of her eyes.
Right. So yeah,
So-
because she's in it, it would be like if somebody was sleepwalking
And you
and
slap
you
the
woke
shit
them
out of
and
her.
you slap them. Yeah, it could have an adverse effect on them. Apparently,
So
I don't care about Mill. I would just like Yesenia to be okay. And
Yeah.
I was
Nah.
hoping that by removing the painting it would stop her being like tortured.
there's a very heavy knock on the door.
Is that a Aoife's knock or like a like a Brad's
was-
knock?
It's pretty heavy, but remember she was tall.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anston.
I'll go down into the living room because it's a hallway before you go into the living room, right?
Correct.
I'll go into the hallway so that if she goes into the living room, I'm sort of behind her.
Okay, so you go down the stairs, then make your way into the living room where
Correct.
the-
Right.
where,
I pull my
Millicent-
saber out.
Okay, so you're there with the saber. Anybody opening the door?
We can have Anston do it for us.
Why would you take Anston and do that to him? He's already frazzled enough. Okay,
Care
sure.
about him?
I gathered that,
He's
Steinar. I
willingly
gathered that.
part of this. I mean,
Yeah.
He's already met her.
Yeah.
He opens the door. Yes, and cloaked head to toe, Bene Gesserit almost, just the face opening, kind of standing there. Where is Millicent? Who are these? What have you done, Tweed? What have you done? And she doesn't enter. She's kind of just looking at all of you, like wondering what the hell is going on in this house. Everybody but Steiner can be seen. I mean, he tucked into the
Okay.
living room. Everybody's in the hallway or on the stairs.
Please come in. You've been summoned. We have some questions for you. If you'd be so kind.
She takes a step through the threshold. Tweed kind of waits, and she takes another step and then shuts the door.
Is this a
Probably too-
person?
Yeah, she's very tall. She's probably
Is
like
she?
6'3".
probably
I
You
so.
can't
Can-
see much of her. You can just see hands, and they're rather palish white, but really white.
Is
But yeah.
is from what I'm seeing of her? Is she a person? Or...
Oh, you're saying in your I'm sorry, in your vision? No, she's Vason.
Oh, this is not a person.
No, person and shape,
No,
but yes,
I mean,
it's a
we're
Vason.
all Vason, and yet we
Touched.
are
You're
people.
Vason touched. Yes, she's Vason.
Oh, Hmm.
So Mercy, thank you for sorry, I'm
Yeah.
thinking it's just
Okay.
can I see her? What you see is very much looks like a offshoot or a smaller version of the tree at the cemetery, looking around the room and looking at you.
Hmm.
Very bark skin, bark face, just kind of looking around. The others just get the image that she's glowy, she's kind of glowy, she's
Mhm.
Vason touched. Yeah, to them, they see that she's got something wrong, something Vason about her, but you're seeing
Okay.
the whole shebang, yeah.
gotcha. Thank you. And I just invited it in. Great.
Well, you did. Yeah.
Yes. We thank you. Thank you for accepting the invitation, the summons. We would like to know what exactly you gave to I would like to know exactly what you gave to my friends here and how to get our one friend who is still trapped in this dream state out.
Stop the growth of the cemetery. I'll release her. Stop the growth. Don't let them move the gates and the iron wrought fence. You can't come any closer to me. It will
You
kill
don't-
me.
You don't want to be cut down.
I can't be enclosed in it or cut down.
Right.
The dead, it will ruin me. Kill me.
Hmm.
But
Those who are a part of buying plots and money, trying to further the cause of the cemetery's growth, must be stopped. Must kill them. Must have them buried now and put no more growth.
Aoife,
She kind of just
Aoife,
glares at you.
the more people that die,
No,
the larger the cemetery
No.
will need to be.
no.
Think.
Stop buying plots. No.
Hmm. Not logical. It's okay.
Yeah.
Can't be reasoned with, maybe. Right.
Maybe very
Will-
old and broken.
Very ancient, not quite hearing, comprehending. We'll help. We'll stop it. How do I help my friend? We're not from here. We will never be buried in the cemetery. We will never buy a plot. How do I help my friend? She's innocent.
Time. If she lives. And time. But I can release her. I know how to make a concoction that will bring her out much quicker. Alleviate
be-
the effects.
That would be a kindness.
She looks at Adelaide. She's befriended them. She talks with them. She is not a friend. You are friends with her. You are not friends to me, then.
no,
She speaks with the dead.
no, I never.
You did. I
intended-
watched you.
I did speak with them, but I never intended. It was an accident. I didn't know they were there. I was just trying to figure out how we could help you and help this town. I didn't know.
Give me a roll on. Yeah, I'm gonna say. See if you're inspiring enough to make her believe that you didn't do it intentionally.
Okay. That is 2 successes.
Oh,
Waha!
Yeah, I'm
She's,
pathetic enough
nice.
to make her sorry for me.
Yeah, she starts.
Brenna!
She believes a little bit. She's like, okay, maybe they're telling the truth. Maybe this wasn't a setup to find the secrets on how to, or talking to the dead to make them want to expand it. She's speaking to the people that are living in the ground that are choking out my roots, basically trying to kill me. And she came up with this idea on how to make her spells more suggestive and more powerful, and longer lasting by using the mushrooms. So yeah, she says if you get the mayor to cancel, the growth of the cemetery and don't bring it any closer to me, and you somehow get a promise of that to that effect, I will release your friend.
Slight alternative. May I make a suggestion?
She's kind of just weaving and bobbing to you.
We got a replanter, maybe.
Yeah,
Can't move her.
but
Take one of
why?
her acorns. Take her baby somewhere.
Yeah, can't move her.
Shoot.
What about putting a fence around her so she's not part of the cemetery?
Can't be near the dead.
Enclosed.
The bodies that they're burying are making it harder and harder. That's what's causing her problems. That's why she's not making any more sense much anymore. It's polluting the ground.
Okay. So we need to somehow convince a mayor.
And
That-
the Archbishop, John Gray, to not keep burying people in Pinehurst Cemetery. Fir Pine Cemetery.
Does your tea, Aoife, make people suggestive?
Depends on how I brew it. Tried to stop all of you. Not strong enough. only got one. But sometimes more suggestible. Sometimes they see things, dreams,
Can you
terrible
make
dreams.
Can you make tea that makes people see the things you want them to see? See the reality of your situation.
She takes a.
We
You
can
hear
give
these
it
heavy.
to the
Yeah, she
mayor.
starts walking down. Yeah, she starts walking down the hallway.
We will give it to them. You should provide it to us. We will give it to them.
Have to talk to the painter. Have to talk to the.
Cyrus puts his sword away and sits down.
Okay.
I
Millicent.
don't want to appear to be.
Yeah, hostile.
Yeah.
Millicent comes over to her wide-eyed. She says, Millicent, paint me a field and a hill with a church. Paint it so that there are no graves. Paint me a scene of peace. Millicent's like, and she starts painting.
All right.
So yes, actually,
Use
if
that as
you
a
have the
brochure.
painting and then you get the mayor to drink the tea, it depending on the roles, it will put him into the situation of taking the suggestion from her painting.
There we go. So we'll have a marketing brochure and we'll just get them high. There we go. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Isn't that how every great sale is made? I mean,
Yes.
if you look at how they sell
Yes.
cars over at in Vegas at the big auto show, it's all Jack
Mhm.
Daniel's judgment. You know,
Yeah.
girls passing out alcohol, and then they go, "Yeah, 45,000 for that. Yeah, I'll take that." I'll
Yeah,
do that.
sure. Let's do it.
That was half of my job on the cruise ship, was to wear a pretty dress and hand out champagne and talk to people.
Champagne. Very nice. Yeah. So, all right. So she paints this scape, this beautiful scape. Afa doesn't have the ingredients to make the reversal, but she says, if you bring me the new deed or something from the mayor showing that the cemetery is not going to expand,
Yep.
she will make sure Yesenia is returned safely. She will get her out from under the spell of the tea.
Okay.
Okay. Pulling everybody aside. We're gonna have a little circus
Sure.
huddle. Just circus people. No one else. Just
Gotcha.
Shoo them away. Everybody. So, idea.
Yes.
Let's take Yesenia to Jenny, and let's say you did this. Let's make her feel guilty. That way, we can use Jenny to get to the mayor and the archbishop in a hurry.
Ooh, okay.
I like
Nice.
it.
We'll guilt her into it. All right. We'll take the painting. We'll have them. We'll serve some tea.
Wow.
I'm all for this plan.
We'll serve some tea, and then we'll just let the magic happen.
Okay. Interesting.
Excellent.
Yeah. Sound good?
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Go team, go. All right.
Go.
Team.
Go,
Yeah.
go team, go.
All right.
Playing
Sure.
devil's.
It is the middle of the frickin' night.
Right.
We may have to wait for the morning.
All right.
Well, in the meantime, she can get the concoction ready for Yesenia.
Yes.
She does, before she leaves, though, she takes the painting that Millicent was working on with the doll and everything, and you've slashed the clowns,
Mhm.
right? You've already killed you took all the clown paintings and destroyed them. She tells Millicent to unpaint the saw, basically paint out the saw.
Okay.
So Yesenia's her nightmare right now is just that she's alone in that sewer. But the clown isn't chasing her anymore. You got rid of that, and now the saw has been painted out, so the puppets are no longer in danger.
All right.
All right, so you've totally negated that problem.
All right.
Excellent,
Woo.
good job.
Nice.
Yeah, that was good.
Good job,
Yes,
team.
the combat doesn't solve a lot. Basically, it's a lot of puzzle breaking and
Yeah.
putting the pieces together. So yeah, good job. So the next morning you get to the mayor. Jenny's
I love
able
how we
to-
just used Tweed and didn't solve his problem at all.
you did solve his problem, because if she no longer has to go through the steps of burying these mushrooms and killing off
Sure.
these
Okay.
Victorians who are so fascinated by death that they're buying plots so fast that the cemetery can't keep up.
Yeah.
And they're needing to push the gates further, the fencing further
Okay.
and further and further. So if you can get her to just go inactive again and not feel threatened, there's no need for any of the other three to even be bothered by it anymore.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Cool.
Jenny is easily convinced. The dream that she had was the last time she drank the tea with you guys, it was very deep, even though because she brewed it strong, but tried to negate some of it. And Jenny said that she saw terrible visions of things that were happening, things that she was afraid of, didn't understand. And
A small blind girl slapping her across the face.
if Jenny had drank it at full strength, it would have been terrible. But fortunately, again, I think it was the creature is trying to show, Ape is trying to show that she was after certain people to get rid of them. She wasn't trying to kill everybody, but she had her reasons and thought that this was the only way to make it happen. Yeah. And Jenny was a great person to get people to drink tea with. She's like, Jenny brings people in here all the goddamn time. So whoever I need to get rid of, I can't kill Jenny. So she scared the hell out of her, but didn't actually try to harm her.
Right. Okay.
Right. Yeah. In front of the mayor, Jenny and Cyrus both knows the mayor as well. Jenny's got an incredibly gifted set of skills when it comes to persuasion. So you're able to get in front of him, talk to him.
Or
Whore. Yes, whore. Jesus, God in heaven, Lauren. It's not horror. She's just a young woman with, an ample bosom. That doesn't always make her loose. Jesus. God. But Jenny's able to throw it. Who would like to throw Jenny's persuasion, her manipulation dice? She has 7. So Adelaide, why don't you go ahead and throw those for us?
Okay, 7.
Tell me if you get 7 dice. Here we go.
I've had luck lately.
I know. That's why I thought maybe you should throw them.
Yeah.
I'm crossing things.
Yeah, she got 3 successes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Good
Mayor-
God!
Yes.
The mayor is going to build off of the other side and up towards the road. Remember, they had all that great expanse from the cemetery. It took a long time. This will be the furthest point back it will go. So it will no longer and anything going forward is so far away from her because the cemetery is already pretty deep. So he's convinced he's going to have an architect redraw it, and he'll go towards the church as opposed to taking up the far north side of the hill.
We need it in writing.
Yes, so he gets an architect out there. It's Yesenia, by the afternoon, they're just kind of rearranging the north and south of it, the plot. He shows an extension, but he puts all of it as it's facing the church. Guy just draws up a rough plan. And then the mayor dates and signs it. Like, he admits that he's like, no problem. This is how we'll do it. I mean, if that's what you want, Jenny, of course I would do that for you and your friends. She puts a lot of money in the mayor's pocket. So he gets the whole thing redrawn. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
And you go up there later in the day, you show it, you lay it by the tree. Mercy, you get the idea that you need to bury it. So you do. You bury it by the tree. And then when you're digging and putting the map there, this new map there and everything, there's a small snuff box with tea in it. And you find it, and when you smell it, it has a very different fragrance from the one that Yesenia and all of them drank.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to take that back, and you brew a pot of tea, and within a few minutes, Yesenia comes out. So yes, you were able to save your friends. You're able to get the Willow wife under control. The Ash wife, rather. I'm sorry, the Ash wife under control. You're able to make sure that the cemetery no longer impedes upon her, this ancient basin that's been here for a long, long time and really didn't want to keep. And the madness, unfortunately, as crazy as she is, those bodies in that part of the cemetery have been rotting and getting into her roots. They're actually pushing through some of the graves in the back because that was the oldest part, right? That's part of that cemetery. But there's nothing you can do about that. She'll never be fully rational again, but at least you know that for the time she's willing to go back to rest and kind of just put herself into the tree and be calm. So well done, team. That's it.
Woo,
That's one. What you
say-
get from this is the snuff box. So
Great.
the snuff box.
Come
is
on,
another-
loot.
Yep, and the snuff box will go into the Kleiner's Kravenarium display, and every 3 days, if you have to use it, you can it'll refill with the ingredients, and you can brew a tea that will take away it'll make it so someone is not able to be hypnotized or suggested very easily for 6 hours. So
Nice.
it's one that's able to keep one of you at least seeing straight if something like that comes up again.
Very nice.
Yes.
Anti-Ashwife tea.
It's Ashwife tea. Yep.
F5T.
It's the one that breaks the spell. Makes it so that you're not susceptible to illusion.
Yeah. As a last kind of scene for Adelaide, she's gonna check on the spores she buried.
Okay.
I think it's maybe been enough time for them to start sprouting up.
They have, but they don't have the red cap underneath. You didn't bury them on the dead.
Oh, okay. So maybe they're not
potent enough.
They're not magical or anything. Okay.
Yeah, they need to be put into the grave of a recent deceased person.
She still stomps on him.
Yeah, absolutely. The problem is that the madness she was getting from the bodies and everything that she's pushing through and the coffins was causing her to think in a different way. And so the mushrooms made sense to her. She's like, well, I'll kill them, but do it. But to your point, well, if you're killing them, they're getting buried anyway. But in her mind, they'd already bought the plots. The cemetery was already expanding anyway. She was just trying to put them in it and hopefully scare enough people off that they didn't want to be buried here anymore. Everybody's dying around it. There was no connection to that. Like she just had no idea rationally how to make that work.
Right.
But she had the resurrectionists. She saw them. She got them under her spell. She was able to use the brothers and the brother and sister.
What was the deal with the resurrectionists?
They were in the cemetery and they were easy. She can't use the ghosts. She doesn't like. She can't be near the dead. It's a problem for her. She truly sees them as an issue. So
no, but I mean, what is their deal? What were they doing?
They were growing the mushrooms for her. And then
I mean, like prior to her, like they're resurrectionists. Like, is their plan to try to raise the dead?
No, resurrectionists were the nickname for grave robbers.
Grave robbers.
Oh, I see.
They would take
they're called the resurrectionists because they're cracking open the graves and stealing everything. So it's almost like you're undigging them for. But yes, that was just a tabloid nickname for them.
So it was a 2-part business. They would take rich people's belongings and then take the bodies to medical students.
Correct. Unload the jewelry, but not, and then the cadavers to medical schools. In this case, though, they never touched the bodies. They needed the bodies to grow the mushrooms. So that was why it was confusing. Like, they were only grabbing the goods.
Mm-hmm.
A real resurrectionist would be dropping them off at a university for a cadaver study.
So generally pretty harmless. I mean, just stealing from the dead.
Well, if you need your mortal coil to return to this life at the day of judgment, you don't have it. That's
I was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty slimy job.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it's
not. And they used to hang them for that shit. You get caught, you're done.
I believe you still go to jail for quite a long time for doing stuff like that.
Well, now it's a fetish thing, so yeah. All right, well, that's it for this episode. Oh, relax.
Only if they lay next to them.
Right, you're all adults. Grow up. Thank you so much for watching Chapter 2 of Box Full of Dreams. We'll be back next week, hopefully with the whole cast again, and we'll be bringing you a brand new chapter, brand new story from Kleiner's Kravenarium. This one, it was all about just making sure they understood why the tea was being brewed, how it was being utilized, and how the artist was connected. And once they got to Millicent Shaw's
box full of dreams.
A box full of dreams.
Yeah.
Boom.
Snuff box. Okay,
coffin.
It just clicked in my
coffin. Tea box. It had many multiples.
Okay.
Box full of dreams. It's great when it all comes around full circle, doesn't it? It's like,
oh yeah.
But from all of us here at the Bardic College, I want to say thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all those special things. I want to also point out to you the names of our cast because they are so important. That they make the stories come to life, and they are the ones that put up with all the crazy things that I try to plan. So thank you for that. We'll catch you next time. Don't forget to check out our Patreon, of course, for all kinds of. I mean, there's got to be over 100 hours, I think, in there now of solo adventures from Cthulhu and Cairo. The Argent Star, which is really starting to pick up. People are starting to really get a lot of feedback on that one, which is kind of nice. It's a Pendragon campaign that we run only for patrons, and all kinds of other stuff. So if you're interested, please check us out. But until next time, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you then. Good night, team.
Good night.
Good night.